Good afternoon, this is Joy News, and we are still in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, bringing you exclusive interviews with leaders of the region. Now, the man I'm about to speak to started in the media landscape and then went into politics, was once the municipal chief executive for Obuasi, and now leading the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly as the mayor. He's got a lot of responsibilities on his hand because KMA obviously is always in the news. Richard Ajmambwedi, also known as King Zuba, is my guest. Zuba, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
I've known him for years, but I'm yet to understand the meaning behind the nickname Zuba.
Okay, so it happened in school when one of my friends, Richard, one break, decided to sponsor the seniors that he was sleeping with in his dormitory on a watch expedition.
Sleeping with us in, residing in the same dormitory. Okay.
The seniors that he was sharing same room with.
Okay.
In the dormitory. So I also decided to do same for my seniors. So I am for Yajiman.
Okay.
At the time, I think the chief of Kwapim was also for Yajiman. And then the chief of Bitefi was also for Yajiman. So the seniors had inquired for me if I was a chief from those areas. And I told him that the name of Yajiman is also the name of my uncle, who is also the chief of Adansi. So then they started calling me Ken. So when we were doing the Wachi Expeditions competition, our bowl ran out. So everybody in my room was calling me Ken because of the name of Oyajiman, which has been associated with 3 chiefs.
Right.
So they calling me Ken. So everybody was like Ken. So one senior Napari said Ken Zuba, meaning Zuba in Hausa means pour inside.
Okay.
So I've watched has run out, so I should pour
inside.
Like senior was like Ken Zuba. So I bought a lot more Wachi than Iwu Richard could buy, and so it became some spontaneous noise. Hey, Ken Zuba, Ken Zuba. So from that on,
it became your name.
It became my name, and it has stuck with me.
Great.
Since 1991.
All right. So we're going to pour a lot of.
To the extent that the president calls me Zuba.
Oh.
President Bufo once told me that I should do something about it because it's getting my name out of the system. My children, everybody calls me Zuba. So
okay.
It's become part of me.
Right. So Zuba means pour in.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do a lot of pour in today.
Sure.
I mean, you've been mayor for close to 6 months?
Started in April. Yeah, so.
Right. But you are not new to administration.
4 months lesson.
But you are not new to administration at the local level because of your past experience as the MCE for Obuasi. But how has it been so far in charge of Kumasi, Greater Kumasi?
Whatever I'm going through is one that I expected. It's exciting, and to have the opportunity to work for your people, it's always an opportunity that many people will crave for. So I thank God that the president found me worthy to work for my people. You know me, I come from Kumasi.
Right.
I am a native of Bomso in Kumasi and Adansi for Mina. So my mother comes from Kumasi proper.
Right.
So it's not out of place that I have the opportunity to also contribute my bit to improve on the welfare and the well-being of my people. It's challenging, but it's exciting.
But KMA is major. I mean, the issues regarding KMA will not go away anytime soon. I mean, what are some of the challenges you've encountered so far?
One of resource. My main challenge is resource.
You don't have resources to do your work?
The creation of other assemblies out of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has created a financial problem for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. And I will explain.
You've been limited in your scope.
The volume of work for the KMA remains same. The resources that the KMA originally would depend on to carry out the responsibility, a lot of them has been taken away from the KMA because of the creation of the other assemblies.
Right.
Now, if you're going to look at the Summit Magazine Enclave, and you look at the amount of money that the area will generate in terms of our RGF potential, Now
it's no longer yours.
It's gone to some municipal assembly. Now all the industries that are in Kumasi are in the Asukwa constituency, and Asukwa constituency now has a municipality. So it means that all the IGF that you're going to get from property rates, from fees, charges, and all those things from the Asukwa enclave now gone to the Asukwa Municipal Assembly. As we speak, Kwadaso have their own assembly. Tafo have their own assembly. So what it means in essence is that all those revenues that were coming from those areas have not been taken away from KMA.
But that should also reduce the workload.
It does not. Kumasi's main challenge is one of waste management, essentially. Waste management, sanitation, security, before infrastructure.
Right.
You understand? Now, on daily basis, we manage over 2,000 tons of waste on daily basis here within KMA. Now, most of the people who generate this waste do not come from Kumasi.
They don't live within your enclave, within your catchment area. So, for example,
now by way of population, the population within my catchment area is less than 500,000.
Less than 500,000.
But we manage over 2 million people on daily basis.
Okay, so people, for example, come from Tafo to come and do business within your catchment area and then go back.
Everybody that gets up in the morning from Oferiko Municipal Assembly comes to KMA to come to conduct business or to come and work. Anybody from Asukwa comes to KMA to conduct business or to work. Anybody from Kwadaso, it is within KMA that they come to get whatever that they need to go about their lives within the greater Kumasi enclave.
And what kind of business do they do, these individuals who come to?
Kumasi, we are principally noted for trade and commerce. So
and that would mean that they pay you tolls every day?
I'm coming. So everybody comes to the Kumasi City Market, everybody comes to Edum, everybody comes to the center. And if you are to take, do an audit of the people who are selling on our pavement, in our streets, and creating congestion, 95% of them don't live within KMA. Now, we will take money from those who are in properly designated areas, who can be captured within our fee fixing arrangement. But those who are hawking and creating the volume of waste that gives us headache, if you're going to be taking money from them, what it means is that then you are giving them some legal backing.
Right.
So we can't capture them in our revenue mobilization drive. You understand? And they are the ones who are creating the headache for us. That's been the challenge.
Okay, so let's take it one by one. So in terms of waste management, how much, for example, are you spending on waste management on a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis, I think I need to be able to get to the figures. But previously when I came, those who were even cleaning at night sweepers, we had around 362 of them. And the money they were paying them was paltry. We were paying them at 350
Ghana cedis.
Ghana cedis
per cleaner.
Per cleaner, those who do the cleaning at night, per person. And I felt that the kind of work that they do, we must let it look attractive for somebody to want to come and do it. And then they had not paid them for a period of about 13 months before my coming. So what I've done is to restructure that sector. Now we have 102 people doing it, and they are receiving as much as 800 cedis per person. From
300 to 800 cedis. That's like 200% increment.
Yes, 800 cedis per person, and the supervisors too are taking 1,000 cedis per person, which is moved it somewhere close to 100,000 or there.
100,000 on a monthly basis. This is how much you are paying
for night,
those who are sweeping
in the night. In the night. Not to talk of those who do the daily cleaning between mornings and nights, and the volume of fuel that we use on daily basis to give to trucks to move around the big Kumasi metropolis to cut waste and all of that. So I should be able to give the exact figures when I have met with my finance team and with my waste management team, and then we'll be able to identify where we pay what, and then cumulatively we can come out to the figure. But we spend a lot of money on waste management. But
is KMA managing its own waste? I mean, have you contracted waste managers to be dealing with the waste issues?
Some of them.
Some of them. Not 100%. But some you are doing it on your own.
Yeah, some of them we are doing it on our own.
Why is it so?
I have come to inherit this arrangement. So I'm not taking my time to go through them. You know, as we speak, we have a judgment debt of over 142 million, which I'm handling.
142 million Ghana cedis. That is the entire debt before KMA.
Well, and judgment debt alone. 142, not the entire debt of KMA. The entire debt of KMA is way beyond that.
Like 300 million, 400 million?
It will get to
300 million.
Yeah,
and how did this debt come about?
Irresponsible management.
How irresponsible were they?
Like we award a contract to somebody to help us manage a particular dam site, 7 months on, without any proper negotiation. We abrogate the contract without recourse to due process and the law. The person goes to court and the person secures a judgment. We are supposed to deal with the judgment. We don't deal with it. The person goes to court and gets an interest over the amount of money that is supposed to be paid to him or her, and it's calculated on an amortization basis. And you know, when it's on amortization basis, what it means is that the amount of money that is owed the person will attract a particular percentage over the year,
right,
and then it is calculated as principal in the subsequent years. So if it is 10 and it's as a 30% on amortization basis, the next year is going to be 13. The subsequent year, it is 30% over the 13 that is going to be calculated. So it kept jumping, and it's taken us to the 142 million.
And so this is a judgment that you have to clear.
Yeah.
And how are you going about clearing it?
Okay, so I've started engaging with the people that we're indebted to. There are two. One, we owe 12 million that I've had very good negotiations with, and we have come to the point whereby we are now going to take care of the person's legal fees, and then we'll implement some of the agreements that we have had with them. There's one that we are owing 7 million cedis. I've also had a good deal with them. There's one that we owe 4 million. That one too, I've also had a very good negotiation with them. And all these three, they have accepted for us to pay their legal fees, and then would comply with whatever agreements that we have, which will not necessarily get KMA to cough up money to come and pay them.
Okay.
You understand? But we'll get them to do something out of what we have that will generate some income for them to defray the amount of money that will owe them over a period of time that is clearly defined and well calculated, and then it will take us away from this burden that this financial constraints as a result of judgment that is brought on the KMA. But there's one major one which is virtually killing me, the one that we have with FICO FD. That's 20 million cedis that we are talking about here.
What kind of deal is this? What kind of contract?
Waste management.
Waste management?
Yeah, waste management contract.
And KMA what, failed to pay?
KMA, I think, abrogated the contract wrongfully, and then they went to court and they secured a judgment, and there was inertia, and it has taken us here.
And this was between what period?
I think hers has been over 16 years. The one that is involving FICO FD is over 16 years.
Right.
The one that has to do with 7 million, it's over 22 years. But that one was done in 2007. That one was done in 2007.
And this will be President Kufuor's era?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was during Mama Pat's period that one occurred. And we are managing it.
But you say that is proving difficult to settle out of court.
Yeah, the good thing is that we have been able to have good discussion over the three. One that we owe 4 million,
12 million.
We owe 12, one that we owe 7. We have had good negotiations with them. The major one has been the one that we have with FICO FD.
And they don't want to accept your terms?
We are yet to even
start a discussion.
Have a discussion. We've tried as much as possible. Fortunately, last week, I sent somebody to go and plead with her for us to have the opportunity to negotiate. And the feedback I got from the person on Monday is that he has been able to have a very good discussion with her. And I think that between now and the next week, we should be able to meet and have a good discussion. So
how much is involved in this, in the matter between KMA and FICO?
Well, I think it will not be fair for us to put the figure out. Yeah.
So this contract was signed.
That one is huge.
So this huge.
That one is huge.
And it's part of 145 million judgment debt that you need to settle.
Yeah.
And this contract was signed in 2007.
No, hers was not signed in 2007. I think it was before that. I think it was 2005. Yeah.
Okay. And beyond the judgment debts, the other debts, how are you settling them?
The major one that we have for us to deal with, which is becoming a huge strain on the resource of KMA, is the judgment debt. So once we're able to deal with them, I think we'll be able to. The other ones are monies that has to be paid with people who have carried out obligations to KMA. And as and when money comes, those ones are not.
If you pay them,
we'll be able to pay them.
We understand
because those ones have clearly defined budget lines. So once the appropriate budget lines has some funds, we should be able to pay them. That one should not be difficult.
Will I be right to say that currently, as you speak, in view of the financial distress that you are in, KMA may be described as a bankrupt institution?
I would say so. I would say so. When you have good assets and you don't have liquid at a particular time, you cannot be described as bankrupt.
So what kind of state is KMA in?
We're in a challenging circumstance.
And how are you going about? And then at some point we were told that even this office building virtually was in the hands of a court.
That was before I came. But KMA is a difficult situation. Even the office that we're sitting in, I had to use my own resource to furnish here.
Why?
Everything that's here is provided by myself.
Because Assembly couldn't provide the financing to do it.
I came, it was such that Assembly could not raise the money.
There was no money in the accounts?
It had been garnished.
Okay, so we didn't have access to that, to the finances of the KMA.
They have money in their accounts, but we didn't have access to the, and I needed to come and work, so I had to raise money on my own to come and furnish the office so I can come and work.
And I'm sure you probably got clearance from the local government ministry in doing such a thing.
It's a donation.
Donation to refurbish the office.
Metropolis. It's a donation. It's not something I'm going to take away with me, so you don't need any clients. When you are donating something.
But how will you describe how KMA got to this particular state? Is it solely because those who came before you mismanaged the affairs of the assembly?
Okay.
Or they just simply didn't care about whatever contract they went into and the implication was going to have on KMA?
Okay, so this is what I say to answer this particular question. Throughout my public life, I am not one who laments so much about the people that I took over from. I always have this belief that if they're doing it well, nobody would have changed them. So when I've come, I have to turn things around. I don't spend time, denigrating those that I came to inherit or lambasting them for whatever they did right or did wrong. So I will not be interested in going to what happened. My headache is that this is what I find myself with. And I must solve it. Just so when next there's an opportunity for somebody to come and take over for me, the person will be confronted with these challenges. I should be able to do with it before somebody takes over.
But if there's clear case of negligence, somebody must be held responsible.
If there's clear case of negligence.
But you haven't established one yet.
There are some documents that are forwarded to the Attorney General's office and we're reviewing them.
it points to negligence or financial irregularities.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant.
But once you are forwarded to the agent office, it means
the ones I have some difficulty at the borders on law. The appropriate person for him or her to look at is the Office of Attorney General, especially in respect of our judgment debts.
But so this relates to judgment debts.
Yeah, judgment debts.
So the agents to do what, to advise you on how to go with it.
To advise and aid us to get out of this legal trouble.
Okay. And you are yet to get a response from the AG's office?
No, the AG has started working on it. They have started working on them.
So am I right to say that perhaps whatever revenue that comes to KMA now obviously go to pay debts inherited?
Some.
But is that having a toll on how you are running this assembly?
Definitely. I told you that we generate over 2,000 tons of waste every day. You understand? As we speak, I need to raise about 13.8 million Ghana cedis to eliminate the city of Kumasi.
Eliminate? Yeah, provide street lights.
Provide street lights, yeah. So that we would have good visibility at night to improve on security management of our metropolis. So it's a huge challenge.
Are you getting any support from central government?
Sure. The president has directed, and our share of the common fund has appropriately been assigned.
Okay, because some
it's the very first time in a very long time that this is happening to the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, because we have not had releases from the common fund directly to the KMA for a very long period of time until now.
But because you shouldn't, you should be self-sufficient.
No, the requirement of the law is that 5% out of whatever amount of money is generated in the country must be shared among the various district assemblies. It must be given to the administrator of the district.
I know, right? But I'm saying that because of the strength of KMA.
When it is that the one government comes and decides not to fulfill the law, it's troubling. So it is a good thing that this president has come and at least he is respected.
Meaning the last administration KMA did not receive a share of the common fund.
They were routing it through the development authorities that they created to do that. And you see, it was denying the city managers the opportunity and the rightful authority to do what has to be done for the citizens.
But does that explain why there's so much debt?
Maybe. Maybe not.
So how much are you getting from the common fund this year, for example, or this quarter?
Unstated, but it's huge.
But it's supposed to be a public information.
Unstated is huge. You want my debtors to
come running after you. But what's the plan to utilize it?
Okay. So out of that, some will go into the construction of the 24-hour economy market. And here
you have designated a place for that.
And here at KMA, we are using, there cannot be any 24-hour market beyond Krofuom.
Okay.
So we are dedicating what has to be used for the 24-hour economy market for the Krofuom Market reconstruction, which is so dear to the heart of the president. And the president has tasked us to complete it by December of 2026, and that he will come and commission it. And then that's where we're going to celebrate Christmas in 2026. So we are using it for the initial works that has to be done, and then subsequently the president directive that we should get some backing from central government would also come, and then it will get Krofuom ready for the good people of Kumasi.
So therefore there's dedicated funding, and for that reason we should not accept any excuse of no work done.
Well, I am very if there's any single thing that is getting my attention, it's the Krofuom Market, because that's where I live.
Of course.
I live at Krofuom. You understand? So I would not be able to have any explanation for my people if I'm unable to deliver it to them.
Okay.
So I am determined to deliver it to them. And thankfully, the president is so much focused on giving Krofuom to the good people of Kumasi. I can tell you that if there's one thing that is so dear to the heart of the president in the Ashanti region, it is the Krofuom Market. And I know the kinds of instruction that he gives me on the Krofuom Market and the monitoring that I receive on weekly basis on the Krofuom Market, and desire that the president has towards the Krofuom Market. And I am working to satisfy the vision of His Excellency the President. And once that is a major thing on his table, once that is dear to his heart, I have no other choice than to work so hard to get it done so that the President's vision will be fulfilled. All
right, so the Kumasi Mayor is my guest here on the pause. We'll take a short, but when we come back, we're going to talk about decongestion, flooding, and other related matters in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. Welcome back, and of course, the Kumasi Mayor is my guest in Zuba, known officially as Richard Ajiman-Boadi. So, Zuba, let's talk about decongestion. And we'll talk about traffic, because even coming from Lancaster, at least it took us minutes to get here. That should have been like a minute or so.
Maybe it took us so long. It is because the traffic light is working. And that traffic light had been off for so long. So long, I remember. It started working when I became mayor.
So that's the plan. So perhaps, okay, then let's start from traffic. Traffic congestion is quite an issue in Kumasi. I mean, what is the plan to deal with this?
Okay. So the roads that we can currently use in the Kumasi metropolis were designed, executed, and completed by 1985. Was done by Limex Power. At the time, the volume of cars that we had in Kumasi was not as much as we have now. Since then, we have not made any conscious effort at redesigning our roads and looking at reconstruction of our roads to take care of the volume of cars in relation to population growth. You understand?
Right.
So the number of people that live in Kumasi have increased.
Right.
The number of vehicles that now ply our roads have increased. The number of services, in fact, over the last 10 years, the service sector in the Kumasi metropolis has grown greatly. We now have a lot more insurance companies. We now have a lot more financial institutions. We now have much more hospitality installations around the metropolis.
Right.
We have become so much attractive for tourism, such that in 2024, Menchia Palace was the second most visited tourist site in Ghana.
The museum.
Yeah. And then the Kumasi Zoo, I think, is the third.
Yes, exactly. That's very true.
So if you look at the number of people that come here on tourism alone, it should tell you that traffic is currently being driven to Kumasi. And then the number of people who come here to transact business from our neighboring countries, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, it keeps increasing because the potential also keeps increasing. And our people are always taking advantage of the environment to, to want to create employment for people. So Kumasi attracts vehicle and human beings on daily basis.
There's also the location.
Yeah, we are in the centralized. Yes. So we attract numbers on daily basis in terms of humans and vehicles and other things. That accounts for the number, the kinds of congestion that we have in our city. This is something we ought to have known some 5 years ago.
So we failed to plan.
We failed to plan ahead of time. Now we are confronted with it. It is as a result of this that we want to work on the Krofuom Market on an urgent basis.
So that what you will decongest Central Market.
Once Krofuom is done, there are a lot of lorry stations that will be moved away from the KJT and the Duma enclave to Krofuom. All the stations that are coming from the northern part of the country and the Sahelian countries will be taken to Krofuom.
Right.
Which will then free up some space within the KJT area. We are in engagement. We want to construct another modern lorry terminal before you get to Ofoyukum, so that we'll move all the vehicles that ply roads towards the eastern corridor and the other countries within the West African region, Nigeria, Benin and Togo, we'll move them to that side so that we can accommodate vehicles that come from the Bono and the Western North regions at Asafo.
Right.
Then the cars that will come to the Edum and the Nkejetia enclave will be those that are intercity and those that are coming from the periphery of the Greater Kumasi enclave, and they will be able to deal with the volume, reduce it. In the next 2 years, the Nkejetia phase 2 should be completed.
Right.
Once it is completed and it's functional, the Nkejetia phase 2 has the capacity to take 600 cars. What we intend to do is that we will not fill up all the 600 spaces. At least we are looking at between 400 and 500 cars for us to see how it will pan out. Once all these things come to play, we'll be able to move the cars and get proper alignment so that we'll have free movement of vehicles. Krofuom Market, when it's completed, a lot of people who are hawking and selling within the business district area will be sent there.
But would they move?
Yeah, we have
over because
Krofuom Market has over 2,500 sheds.
I get it, but would they move? That has always been the question. I remember when people were asked to move to Abinchi and other satellite markets,
they will.
And it took so long, they didn't go.
They will, because Krofuom, before it was constructed in this nature, was already active.
Okay.
That is where the second-hand shoe sellers were. It was already active. And Krofuom's location, its proximity to the central business is 3 minutes drive away from Edum or Nkejetia. You understand? So it will not be difficult for us to transact the kinds of business that are taking place in Edum and in Nkejetia at Krofuom.
Okay, so in the meantime that these futuristic ideas are here to materialize, what do we do with the
futuristic ideas that we have started working on? Everyone that I've talked about, contractors are on site and we're working on them. So what we have to do is that we have to work to meet our timelines so that once those tasks are carried out in accordance with the timelines that we have set for ourselves and we're able to deliver, we should not have any headache.
So for now, the congestion that we see at Edum, people selling on the pavements and other places that vehicles are supposed to use, you say that until the Krofuom Market is up and running.
I think there's been massive improvement from what I came to inherit. When I came in as mayor, if you were to drive on the Gaggisberg route or 32 Boulevard, between Dufie Towers and Boss FM, it can take you 1 hour to get to there. But now, maximum 5 minutes, you should be able to get to there and do whatever you are supposed to do.
Because they have decided to move on their own.
No, we'll move them. We'll move them. The KMA decided to ensure that everybody who is selling on any street, in anywhere of the central business district, is cleared off. Anybody selling on the median is cleared off. This we have done effectively, and we have a team who monitor it on daily basis. What we have decided to do is, because Nkejetia phase 2 is being constructed, a lot of people are telling us that all those who are selling there were at the market, and because of the reconstruction, they don't have any place to. And mind you, Kumasi's economy thrives on trade and commerce.
Absolutely. So
we are trying to accommodate them on the pavement, even though ideally that should not be the case. But what we have tried to do is that we will not allow them to sell on the streets. We are not allowing them to sell on the streets, and as a result of that, the vehicles are moving, and they are moving at a faster pace now than what I came to inherit.
Okay. So outside of the business district, like for example, the situation that we experienced this morning from Lancaster to this place, because the road is small, so many vehicles are coming to Edum and some leaving. The suggestion is for some has been, why don't we make some of the roads one way in and then find another way to get them out, so that the movement is quite smooth. I don't know whether the Assembly's engineers are considering some of these objections.
Okay, so if you go back to your morning show on Love FM and ask for the 2 interviews that I have done there, and they play back the tapes to you, you would realize that these are things that I've spoken about, that we want to convert most parts of the central business district into one-way routes. And we would begin with from the Dufie Towers, the UTC. When you get to they call it as a for interchange, but I call it's an overpass, overhead bridge. When you get to that area where Dufie Towers is,
right,
from Dufie Towers through where Takrade flour mills have their installation. On your left is the Achemperine's Palace. That originally is a one-way route to turn to the Challenge Bishop towards Asida House, then to hit A-Life. It's a one-way route. I want to extend it through Josmo, through the railway police station in between Ankeni and Hagan and the railway police station, through Edward Nazar, through Boss FM, through Hello FM, and then turn around the Otumfo roundabout, and then come towards where the Santasi taxi station is.
Right.
Enter through the Pempe the second road to hit the Prudential intersection. Go through former Chadukov shop was where the GNTC used to be formerly. Towards that road to hit the Malcolm Road, then at the traffic light on the Pempe the Second Street, just after the after Malcolm, it will take you to left on the same route to link you to Asida House. We want to begin with that one and pilot it for us to see the outcome. If it works out good, we will extend to other areas. Now, when this happens, what is going to happen is that, you know, the old Whitechapel shop where it was,
yes,
there where Tony's Pride used to be. From there towards Boss FM, that road will become redundant. So we are going to create street markets.
Street markets?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that encourage hawkers?
Yeah, because we have to look for somewhere for the hawkers too. In London, there are street markets. Any modern city has street markets. So we will regulate them for them to be there. And if there's a particular stretch where there are phone sellers, we will not allow people who come to sell phones to be in that particular street. And then the one in front of Samba Hotel would be used to link to Nankani and Hagan and railway police, just in case somebody drives on it and misses his way, the person can conveniently maneuver through that stretch and get to the main road. But in between where Topman is towards where Kofkans, electronics is in front of Avos.
Is it a Kesben, the road that leads to Kesben?
Yeah, from the Kesben road, there's a route down in front of Topman.
Right.
That links you to where is the shop? Rigogo. That takes you there. Towards as mayor of the city, I'm supposed to go everywhere. Of course. Your producers are amazed at how I'm mentioning the places and the shops, taking you to Rigo. That would also become redundant, and we'll also do another street market back at them. There's something I've spoken about at the executive committee. I've spoken about it to the assembly. So my fiscal planning department and the urban roads department are working out the fine lines so that we'll present it to the assembly for final approval. Once the assembly approves it, we'll start the implementation. And I'm sure that one will also help us to improve on mobility of vehicles whenever they are within the central business district.
And everything you're talking about will require funding. Here's the case, you may not get all you need from central government. Your common fund will not be able to meet all the nice plans that you have. You already have debts that you are settling. But is there any way you are using this office to attract investment outside the borders of Ghana?
Yeah. So between 7th to 9th October, Kumasi is going to have a huge investment forum. And the partnership and the direction of His Royal Highness Otumfo 82. The second, the Asante and the Overlord. It is because of benevolence that we have somewhere to live and work. And he is bringing together all his grandsons and people with resources to come and look at the opportunities that we have here in Kumasi for them to take advantage of. What is going to happen is that our chiefs will lead in providing land for those investments. And the KMA will also give a moratorium on some of the payments that if you come to start up any business in the metropolis, you'd have to embark on. We're going to give a 5-year grace period. You will not pay anything to the KMA, and we want, as much as possible, attract a lot of investment. Fortunately, we are getting good responses because people's houses have been sent out. We are getting good responses. Anything that happens with the direction of Tumfor is automatically blessed. It gets us the results, and so I'm sure that one is also going to get us a lot of resource.
Now let's spend some time on flooding. I mean, some months ago, I mean, the airport area became, you know, a matter of national attention when the whole place was, you know, submerged. I know that part of it is not under your control, but what is the plan? What have you done about it so far?
So we have met the Garrett team. We are studying what has been done in the Greater Accra region in relation to what was done with Odo River and how it's helped to manage and mitigate the difficulties that flooding portends for our cities. And they have been here with the World Bank team. We have done the feasibility studies. We have done the verifications to. We completed that work until last week Wednesday. They are here to present the final report to me, and the World Bank is ready to assist us to deal with that particular problem. The flooding matter. The World Bank is ready to assist us to deal with that problem. So once the feasibility work, which has been carried out, is completed, I'm sure the World Bank would fund some of the areas. I think they have chosen about 3 areas that they will fund. But beyond that, beyond that, is for us to identify a much more sustainable means to manage and deal with it in the long term, especially in the Ahojo area where a lot of first-class residences are located and there are a lot of businesses there too. We are thinking about how to, but for starters, we are looking at how to get the Gary project be carried out here in our city.
But until then, folks who live in those areas will continue to live in fear, especially when it rains.
They will not live in fear. We have done a lot of desilting. But those things are, somebody will say they are first aid measures. We have done a lot of desilting. Even here we came up, demolished about 18 buildings.
18 structures.
Yeah,
I remember you wanted to pull down even one that belongs to KMA.
Yeah. Yeah, we have demolished a lot of structures.
So, and these structures were sited in waterways?
Yeah, I've demolished a lot of them.
But they had permits to build?
Not all of them. Some of them didn't have permits. Some of them, about 60 of them didn't have permits. Yeah. So if you have permits, we'll get it down and then compensate you. So we are dealing with it.
But you know, Kumasi is home of small businesses. Is there any support that they may be getting from this office? Apart from creating the enabling environment for them to strive.
There are a lot of anticipations that the president has put out, which people are routing through this office to get access to. There's a national apprenticeship program, there's a Jumera, and all these ones are geared towards making sure that we're both champions of the private sector with small beginnings. And a lot of them are coming through KMA to get those assistance. Even as we speak, Feed Ghana is in the metropolis, and we are trying to identify small-scale farmers that government can aid for them to establish for small farmers, especially using schools as case studies to make sure that we do small farming that has the potential to generate income.
I ask because, you know, I mean, if this is rolled out well and is successful, it will reduce unemployment in the Kumasi metropolis. I mean, this week, for example, one of my colleagues at Love FM put together a documentary about how people have resorted to illicit drugs. There's a place called Tinker Island where people, females, males, some old, they want to quit, but they cannot quit, and now they are wasting away.
We have sent about 380 of them to rehabilitation centers. We have sent them to 5 rehabilitation homes.
380 of such individuals?
Yeah. From Tinker. We have sent about 380 of them to rehabilitation.
How does that make you feel as a young person and seeing this on television?
Unfortunate. I grew up in Ashtown. I grew up in Ashtown and Swami. So I know this at first hand, and I know it's negative. But sometimes I tell people that we only thank God that we grew up in that environment and it didn't have influence over us. But, parenting is one thing that we must give a lot of consideration to. I grew up not in any affluent area.
Yeah. Clearly in a compound setting.
Yeah, and I grew up in a compound setting. My mother, for instance, ensured that I was not doing what everybody in our house was doing. My mother ensured that I was doing something different other than what everybody's child was doing. Growing up, I knew how to play football. I was a very good footballer, but mother would not allow me to go and play football. She would always ensure that when you come home, you're working on your homework. She's a teacher. You're working on your homework, and then you're getting prepared for the next day's activity at school. So we're not allowed to go out there to witness some of these things, which was rampant. In where I grew up, back in Swami, as soon as I get up my house, the next person you see is somebody who is selling weed. You understand? As soon as I get to my house, the next person I see is selling weed. You understand? But my parents made sure that those ones did not have any influence. It's unfortunate that a lot of young people who could prove as good human resource for the development and growth of our economy and our country are in that particular situation. We will continue to pray for them. We are doing our best. We're trying as much as possible. KMA is being responsible for that rehabilitation that is taking place. We are trying everything possible to get them out. I only hope and pray that those that we are working on upon the
will not go
routine that they will go through will not come back. Unfortunately, if you look at them critically, a lot of them too do not come from Kumasi. Most of them come from Afenso, some of them from Bekwai and other areas. And
but is it possible to close down Tinker Island?
We are working towards it. It's not. If I tell you it's going to be easy, I'll be bragging, because the major challenge will not be those who use the drugs. It will not be those who come there to sell, but it is those who don't come there and are the source of the business and are very difficult to find. We can get rid of everybody, but once the supply has not been curtailed, we will still have job to do. Even as we embarked on getting rid of those who are Tinker,
right?
A lot of them are now regrouping at Abyss Park.
To go and do the same thing.
They're doing the same thing there. There's one charcoal seller that I've asked that next week we're going to evacuate her. She should leave the place, because the stories that I'm hearing about her charcoal sales and what is going on there, it's not good at all. So we'll get her out, and it must be a concerted effort. It must not be one that should be left for security agencies and city authorities alone. Everybody. There are people who live at Tinker. There are people who own houses there. You have a house. People have come to turn the place into a drug den. You're not complaining. You're not doing anything about it. The police will come. They only carry out a suit. You cannot come and sleep there on 24-hour basis. They'll carry out a suit. We'll arrest them. We'll take them to either custody or you take them to rehabilitation. Another set of drug users will come, and then when they come, they influence another set, and it keeps growing. There's a particular area in Swami Pasi where you go there, it's as if they are coming to the sports stadium to come and watch football. The number is huge.
It's becoming a widespread issue.
It's a headache.
Yes, it is becoming a national issue, especially for the region.
It is a national issue. That's why I'm saying that we must be one that everybody must see him or herself as part of, so that we don't leave it for city authorities and the security institutions alone. Let's do it together.
And that feed into my next question of law and order within the metropolis. How will you rate it? There's been pockets of robberies here and there, stealing here and there in Kumasi. Sometimes walking in the night in certain areas is becoming quite, scary.
Overall, I say our security, we are doing good. I rate them over 80%. The police has been doing a very wonderful job within the Kumasi metropolis. I go around myself every night. I go around myself every night. There are two things I go out to look for. If all checkpoints are in place and the police are active and doing their job rightly, and to also go and see if they have felt anywhere that has been left which my waste management officer would love to give attention to. So these are the kinds of things I do every time in the night. I do this on daily basis. Okay. And I'll say that wherever I have to see that the police officers are there, they are there and they are doing their work. Wherever that some military men have to assist by way of patrol, they are there, and the two institutions are helping us, and they are managing security for us. Crime is something that you cannot eradicate completely.
Absolutely.
So one or two will emerge over time, but they're doing well. And I'll commend the new regional police commander, Mr. Tekujo. He hardly sleeps. He's also always on the ground, making sure that he gives the right supervision for the policemen to do what they have to do for us.
I'm bringing this conversation to a close, but few issues. Just one issue, and then we'll talk about how this translates into making the NDC look good in a region that is so hostile to your political belief. But because you once served as, MCU for Boise, and you also have your root linked to Adanse, personally, how do you deal with this Galamsey issue?
Okay. I have a difficulty in addressing some of these things because the tendency for media to twist what you say with your good intention is high. But honestly, personally, I feel our approach at dealing with the Galamsey issue is wrong.
What should be the approach then?
God has never made mistakes since creation. Whatever God gave to us, He gave to us with a purpose and a reason. Mining, whether it is done by an industrial one or a small-scale facility, is hazardous activity. Every mining destroys land. Every mining destroys water resource. What has to be done is mitigation. Mitigating the hazards that are associated with mining. Is there the knowledge and is there technology? I'll tell you yes. If you go to Obuasi, in Sansu, there are 19 river bodies that are extinct. They don't exist anymore. Those were not done by a small-scale mining. It was done by an industrial mining institution. Pompo, we had to use excavating machines to create another river channel for Pompo. If the river had not been destroyed beyond recognition, there's no way we would use excavators to create a river channel for Pompo to exist. That one was not done by small-scale miners. It was done by an industrial mining. If you go to Obuasi and you go and stand around Kokotezwa and you see where the Senate Dam is, that one is destroyed perpetually. There's no way you can reclaim that set of area. There's nothing you can do. It is destroyed permanently.
And this was not done by illegal miners?
It was not done by illegal miners. But you see, you go to a mining site after they are done with their mine. I'll give you an example. Take your cameras, go to Sansu open pit, go and see the pit that is there. To reclaim it, the company would have to cough up over $245 million to be able to backfill that hole, which is not created by small-scale miners.
No.
And nobody's making noise about it. We are here because of stereotyping.
But they're also destroying the environment. I mean, it's evident.
So I'm saying that mining destroys lands. It destroys, whether large scale or small scale, it does. What the large scale mining companies do is to mitigate the hazards. So once they are done with mining, where they have to do backfilling, they do backfilling with the supervision of EPA and the appropriate agencies. You understand? Where they have to treat the water, they treat it. If you go to Dankwaya Estate, for instance, you see a particular stream with signages. Don't drink from this river. Don't use it to wash clothes. Don't eat fish from this river. So virtually, you can't use that river for any other thing. If the river is not contaminated or destroyed, why would they give that signage? But before that river comes to that stream, it is treated at a point by a company, P2W. They treat it and minimize the dangers associated with the chemicals that are contained in the river. When the river gets into a bigger river source, joins a bigger river source, naturally it will heal itself.
Right.
I know of companies in South Africa, I can give you contacts, that can aid us to clear our rivers of all the dirt that we see.
And these are the ones destroyed by illegal miners.
The ones that are destroyed. I know of a company. I can let you contact them. I can give you contacts of companies.
But you're in government. I mean, shouldn't you rather be helping the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry do this?
You asked the question.
Yes.
And I'm answering you. You asked about my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
Because KMA, there's no mining
There's
here.
no mining here.
Because I come from a mining area, you want to ask for my opinion on what has to be done.
Great.
So I'm telling you what I know.
It should be done.
Yeah, should be done. And I'm saying that those companies can help us to treat our waters and let them look. Ghana has a lot of hydraulical engineers. People have gone to school to study metallurgy, geology, and these ones should help us to create employment for them. You understand?
So basically,
so what we must do is proper regulation
of people who are into mining.
Of people who
regardless
are into
of
mining.
their status, whether licensed or illegal.
No, illegal, I'm not talking about them. Small scale miners. You understand? So that the people will be given the right technology and know-how to do the mining. Because look, between 2023 and 8 years backwards, cumulatively, Ghana made less than $6.6 billion in terms of revenue from gold over a decade. You understand? In 2023 alone, small-scale mining sector gave us $1.9 billion.
Right.
If you were to divide $6.6 billion by 10 years, it means that annually, industrial mining was giving us less than $1 billion. True. Where small-scale mining was giving us $1.9 billion in 2023. So it tells you that the potential is the small-scale mining sector.
In fact,
why don't we regulate it in such a manner that we'll be able to reduce the... As for the hazards, you can't get it off. Mining, you have to talk to the land. Mining is a hazardous activity. So as for the hazard, we cannot get it off. Why can't we put in place technological measures to mitigate and deal with the hazards associated with mining and restrict people from going to areas that they will mine and will create a bigger problem for us? So that small-scale mining will be given the right, approach. We use it to create employment. Ghana will make a lot more money, but we have demonized it and we are not interested in sharing ideas that will help us to establish the sector in such a manner that it will help to build our economy.
My final question will be, you are heading this assembly, the MPs who are not, official assembly members, almost all of them are on the other side. This is a very hostile region in terms of the political belief that you hold. How are you doing it?
I'm fortunate. Most of them are my friends before they became MPs and before I became mayor. As I said, the MP for Bantamam is my classmate and my friend. We used to. He sat in front of me when we were in sixth form. Growing up as young boys, myself, himself, Kingsley Nimo, Makoni, we used to hang out, and do things together at Bantama. What differences we had was political,
right? But
we are friends. Sika is my friend, my buddy up to now. Sika is mine. He's my buddy. My friend like that, like my brother. You understand? And then Akwesi Kunedu too is my good friend. So these three, I have good relationship with these three. Rabu Biabwa is a cousin to one of my cousins. Ashanti is how we live. Yeah. He's a cousin to my cousins, Lawrence Yansari. He's a cousin to them. So once this one is a cousin to we relate like relatives. So we also have a good working relationship. And Honorable Bafo, the MP
for Manchester South.
He didn't do well. It was my brother and also who was supposed to be the MP, but they went to the primaries and then he beat my brother to it. But he's been the most supportive
of everything that you're doing.
He's been the most supportive of everything that I do. So my thinking is that developing Kumasi, we see ourselves as Kumasi for other than politicians. That's what we should see ourselves as, right. Kumasi for us, because Kumasi will not look at MPP or NDC when it comes to what has to be delivered.
Yes.
You understand? Now it is NDC that's managing the affairs of the country, and our mayor. Help me. Let's do Kumasi in such a manner that they would see us having collaborated well to deliver on the mandate that we all have, which should align for us to see the kind of Kumasi that I want to see, a very robust, resilient Kumasi. I want to see the Kumasi in the next 5 years where we'll have an international center for conferences. I want to see the kind of Kumasi where people will move freely. I want to see the kind of Kumasi where tourism will be boosted. I want to see the kind of Kumasi where our international airport functions fully. And I'm sure they see the same thing. I want to see the kind of Kumasi that President Mahama wishes for the good people of Ashanti region. And we should all work towards achieving that goal. At the end of the day, it is the citizens of Kumasi who will benefit. And those are our friends, our aunties, our uncles, our relatives, irrespective of which political party they belong to. They are family first and foremost. They have families here, I have families here. So let's work to satisfy our families.
All right. Kinzua, thank you so much. And of course, so that's been the Kumasi Mayor for you. And that's how we end the conversation for now. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Elton Brobe. Good evening.